It's the Rush Hour with MG, Sydney's 104.9 Triple M. MG.
Yo.
Last Friday night, I went along to Kudos Bank Arena for the Sydney Kings home opener against the Adelaide 36ers. I was pretty pumped to see Casper Ware taking on former King Jerome Randall.
But you spoke about one person in particular, didn't
I
you?
think the 9,000 people who were at the home opener walked away from that game with one name on their mind.
Yeah.
The name is Jae'Sean Tate. He joins us in studio. Jae'Sean, thank you for joining us.
Oh, glad to be here. Appreciate you guys, Liam, MG. Ready to, talk and have some fun today, man.
I think the reason Liam came in last week after seeing you, Jae'Sean, is because of your physicality on the basketball court. We love it. We love physicality as an Australian. It's in our blood. I mean, and every time you pull off a big play or a dunk or you're a block, you walk around with the Popeye arms. And is that your signature move?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call it my signature move. It's just
It just comes natural.
Yeah, it just comes natural. I'm an emotional player, and when I make those tough plays or those physical plays, I just kind of get excited, and that's you guys seeing that excitement I have, and sometimes I express it with a freaking
bicep.
Or
a cobra. We call it a cobra
a
here.
Cobra.
It's like a
I
cobra.
like that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so you roll the double cobra.
Double cobra.
There you go.
That's yours
cool.
now, the double cobra.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Exactly. Now, hey, we're 2 games into the season. Sydney Kings 2-0. You got a doubleheader against the Breakers coming up starting tomorrow at Kudos Bank Arena. Were you aware of the NBL? You came out of college in the US. You spent a year in the Belgium League. Were you aware of the NBL as a league before the Kings got in touch?
Yeah, definitely. With the upcoming rising stars that have been over here in the past, such as Torrey Craig was over here, T. Ferguson, now Melo Ball, and so like you guys are making noise. The NBL is making a lot of noise around the world, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be able to play in something where there's a lot of eyes and there's a lot of talent. So, yeah, every year I think it's gotten better over the past like 3 or 4 years, and it's just going to keep growing.
Well, we seem to the influx of recruits coming to Australia now seems to be upping the ante a bit. The players who are coming to Australia to play in the NBL aren't players who have had their last days in some other league and they're 34 or 35. We're getting young kids like yourself who are 23 who are coming here for the experience of the NBL. And that's for a country like Australia and the basketball is just going through the roof. When you go to the games, do you feel the crowd just, is it palpable?
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely. I've only been in 2 games, but, we had a preseason tournament down there in Tassie, and, I mean, just how that turnout was, it was great. I mean, the fans are really supportive of the NBL. And like I said, I think it's going to continue to grow. And another thing why I think younger players are starting to come, it's a little bit easier to relate than some other places around the world where we all speak the same language, and it's not that much of a cultural shock coming over here. So that's a big part of it too.
Well, the doubleheader against the Breakers, you'll see another one of these future stars, RJ Hampton, who's very highly touted. Now, we'll talk a little bit more. MG, I was really pleased to see him refer to it as Tassie just before.
I love it. He's an Aussie already.
He's got the lingo worked out. But
Aussie J.
You know what it's like to be a highly touted youngster. You were the number 1 player in Ohio coming out of high school.
Yeah.
You were nationally ranked. You went to a big college, Ohio State University. We don't have an understanding here in Australia of what that university, college level sport is like. I mean, it's bigger than professional sports leagues around the world. What is it like being a star at that level?
I mean, yeah, like if you ask me from this point, man, it was the highlight of my life. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. In college, you don't really have to worry about paying bills or doing anything. They kind of just spoon feed you, so that's always good. And the perks of getting in anywhere you want and stuff like that. So, of course, when you go to a big college, you're going to get perks, but also you're going to have that target on your back, and it's all good when you win games, but you lose a couple, and those fans, they can turn a little crazy. So definitely had those moments, but I loved college. I loved it.
Do you think, as I mentioned, your age, I think you're 24 in October, long-term goals is to get to the NBA?
I mean, yeah, that's always been my dream. And yeah, like you said, just being 24, I want to keep focusing on pursuing that dream. And Coach Will Weaver, he's talked to me about my aspirations, and my agent and my family thought this was the best move. And just because there's so much talent in this league and so many eyes on this league, and it's going to be an opportunity for me to showcase what I have to NBA teams, but also just win over fan support from the Aussies out here, man. I mean, Sydney's been a great place to call home the last couple months, and I'm looking forward to what we can do this season.
Well, and I think you talk about eyes on you this weekend. Didi Louzada, am I saying his surname correctly?
Yes, Didi.
Didi, Brazilian player who hasn't played for the Kings yet because of injury, but he was drafted by the Pelicans, and the Pelicans have got personnel out here this weekend to see him making his debut. Young kid, how does he go?
Oh, man, you guys are going to enjoy Didi once he gets out there. He just brings so many different things to the table. He's a great passer, great shooter. He just has a feel for a game, and a lot of people at 19, 20 years old doesn't see the game how he does. So, and also it's Brazilian night, so hopefully he gets to play. So it's going to be a big one if he suits up. He's been battling some back spasms, and I'm looking forward to getting out there with him, man, because he just adds another piece to our team and makes us even more dangerous.
MJ's just jumped onto Ticker Tech when he heard it was Brazilian night. He's just bid himself tickets sorted for tomorrow night.
The lumber. Were you always a basketballer? You built like a tight end in footy, in NFL. Did you play that as well, as a youngster?
I played football all the way up until junior year. I had a few high major offers, but basketball was my first love, man. It's always better when you can play in an air-conditioned or heated gym than, be
Your
out
name's
there.
Billy, not silly.
And because your dad played as well. Your dad, pretty handy basketballer as well.
Yeah, he actually played overseas, I want to say, like 10-plus years.
Wow.
So, it kind of runs in the family. I'm the oldest, so, I'm just trying to lead by example.
Have they had a chance to get out here to visit you yet?
No. A lot of my siblings are still in college or just starting college, and my family has to work. It's a tough time. We're gonna try to get it in December. Summer in December. That's we've never had that in Ohio. It's freaking 10 feet of snow. So I want them to experience that. It's gonna be my first time too. So looking forward to it.
Slip, slop, slap, because it gets about 40 degrees here in middle of summer and it gets warm.
Yeah.
Especially out my neck of the woods in the west.
Yeah.
But we're going to play a little game called Word Association to finish it off.
Hold on, before you get to your word association game, we need to bring up something because last year, MG and I went out and had a bit of a shoot around with Jerome, Randall, and Bogut.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we're going to get to this in a moment. I want to know, have you learnt any tricks from old man Bogut? What's he taught you in this brief stint that you've been with the club?
How to be surly.
I think the biggest thing I've learned from him and kickers, don't be late. Those guys are ready to find you
Punctual.
on the second. He's got 8 seconds. He's got 8. One time my phone went off in film, and he did a little dance because he knew that was a fine. He knew it. So what we do with our fines is we shoot half-court shots for him.
Okay.
So it's a little competitive.
It's fun.
I mean, that dude makes me think every time. My phone on airplane mode. I leave the house 15 minutes early, just so.
It's good.
Cause he always wins.
Yeah.
He always wins.
He's the man.
So that's the biggest thing. Just just being on time and taking care of business.
Well, you should go back next training. Tell him that you're going to fine him for stealing moves.
Yes.
Because he's stolen a move from MG.
Yep. I played a bit of basketball when I was a youngster up until about 17, and then rugby league took over.
Yeah.
And I invented a little move that I would come to the basket as a left-hander, around the back, layup. I've done it. We played a 2-on-2 with him and Jerome last year at Kudos, and I did this move, and Bogue said, "I'm going to use that in the game." Next week, He uses it, and he does.
It's that exact
It's no
highlight
credit. He did it last
from
week
the game against the 36ers.
did it.
Around the back dribble, down the key, slam.
What's funny is they probably didn't catch it during the game, but I ran down court. I'm like, "You got that?" He's like, "What are you talking about? That's my move." I'm like, I was so like, I'm looking at it like, did he just go behind the back and dunk it?
Well, I didn't dunk. I could never dunk.
No.
I was too heavy to dunk. But
No.
I did a layup.
Now, have you had a chance to catch rugby league yet? Are you aware of the sport?
I am. I get them all mixed up. So
Union,
is that with
AFL
the
league.
Roosters?
Yeah, Roosters.
I went to the semifinal game
Okay.
versus Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was a great game.
There you go.
Especially because two guys got kicked out in the first like 5 seconds.
Yes.
They had to go.
Yes,
What
sin
do
bin.
you call that?
The sin bin.
Yeah, that was nuts. Because I thought dude tried to knock him out. So
Yeah.
like I had a great time there, and the friends I went with were of course cheering for Melbourne. So
Okay.
I was.
So is that your team?
No, I was going for Roosters.
Oh, Roosters.
So I was over there cheering in their face. So it was a great time, man. I had a blast there.
Perfect build for a front rower, MG.
Oh, he's more like an outside back.
Outside back, you reckon?
He'd be fast. Yeah, tall,
Okay.
tall, strong.
Yeah, right.
As I mentioned, we've got a bit of a little test we're going to give
my
you here in a
goodness,
second.
not
Mate.
the Vegemite.
Vegemite in a minute, but we got water there. To get to know Sydney, we want to give you a little quick quiz. We do it with all our special guests. It's a word association. So the first word that comes to your mind when I say something regarding Sydney
Okay.
will be your answer. Okay, Jae'Sean, Harbour Bridge,
Traffic.
ScoMo.
I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that.
That's our Prime Minister.
Oh my goodness. Oh, we're gonna have to cut that out. I gotta know the Prime Minister. That is. I'm sorry.
Scott Morrison's his name, but he
Okay.
goes by ScoMo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he tries to be hip hop.
All right. Okay. ScoMo. I gotta get that down.
Okay.
Oh man.
The Opera House.
It's beautiful.
There you go. That's a good. Rugby League.
Physical.
Bondi Beach.
I gotta be careful here. Popular.
Parramatta Road.
Traffic. Just a lot of traffic.
Vegemite.
Oh man, I'm kind of scared of it.
Have you tasted
I
it?
have not.
You haven't tasted it?
No, they keep wanting me to do it, but I don't know.
For those out there listening, Sydney Kings v New Zealand Breakers tomorrow night, Kudos Bank Arena. Tip-off is at 7:15. Ticket Tech is where you can go and grab your tickets, and you should. We haven't seen the Breakers in action yet this season. They haven't been played a game yet. Obviously, the Kings 2-0. Tony, you ready to go? All right.
Okay.
Jae'Sean Tate.
Jae'Sean Tate, you are a great man,
Yeah.
and we appreciate you taking the Vegemite test, my friend.
This one's for ScoMo.
Yeah.
Shout out to ScoMo. You know. Oh, that's nasty. I'm not a fan. Oh man, it's like salty, but paste. No, it kind of stings. You guys eat this on what?
Toast. Every morning on toast.
It is much better on a bit of toast with some butter and then
Oh,
a bit of Vegemite smeared across it.
there's only a little bit, but
Yeah, if you would have gave a spoonful, I wouldn't have made it, man. Oh man,
Jae'Sean Tate, the
That's a
new
acquired taste.
recruit for the Sydney Kings. He's absolutely flying, and so is the team as a whole. Get along and check him out tomorrow night or at some point during the season. Jae'Sean, thank you for your time.
yeah.
Thank you guys for having me, man. I'm looking at this. I can't believe this is a thing. You got it, maybe with butter. It has to be better
Yeah,
with
a
butter.
little bit, yeah. Butter and toast. As
Do you
well.
know how they came up with it?
No.
Leftover yeast from making beer.
Okay.
That's how they
Yeah.
invented it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
200 years ago.
And
That's it. That's
let's
it.
put this on some bread.